What is cinema?
I would say cinema is life.
For now, I can describe it as a parallel reality of life.
هي حالة تعبيرية مثل كيف الرسم كيف النحت.
Cinema is the art of the common man, of the poor and the rich, the child and the adult, the literate and the illiterate. Cinema has no barriers. It has the power to touch all people according to their own subjective experience. It allows us to step into someone else's shoes to understand what it's like to be a different gender, a different race, a different age with different problems, hopes, and aspirations. So can we say that cinema fosters empathy, our ability to understand and share the feelings of one another?
Cinema and art in general can foster empathy. It's a way of expression where the artist is there expressing his pain, expressing his anger, expressing his revolution, telling a story that's so personal.
كل ما بتشوفي موفيز عم يفرجونا انه في حدا عم بيحس بالتاني. يعني ليتلي كتير عم نشوف موفيز مثلا عم بيتطرقوا كتير على المنتل هيلث. لما بيتطرقوا لهذا الموضوع معناتها هن عم بيدوروا على الامباثي، لانه mental health is empathy. يعني احنا كسايكولوجيست كل شيء بنعمله هو بكون عم نفهم يلي بوجهنا.
Like when you're watching a film, you have this intersubjective experience, right? So you're witnessing these characters on screen. You're kind of living, in that sense, their state of mind, their approach, their subjective experience, but at the same time, you're distant. So in that sense, there's a lot of freedom undergoing an experience that is not happening to you in that sense.
And I can remember a lot of scenes I did where I had no words to say, and it just, you're there on my face in a close-up where you could see it all in my eyes, and then people look at your eyes and they can feel something, and then it gets to them. You know what I mean? And they feel how true it is, this moment, this emotion, and it talks to them in a way.
إذا أنت ما كنت حدا بيحس ولا مرة رح تفوت على قلوب الناس ولا مرة رح تنجحي، لأنه كل شيء بنعمله بالتمثيل هو بس أنت تكوني محل الشخص التاني، فيعني أنت تحسي هذا الشخص شو بيكون عم بحس لما بيكون بموقف معين. فإذا ما كنت حدا عنده empathy ما فيك تكوني ممثلة.
We know certain feelings, right? Anger, sadness, joy, happiness. There's a difference between those things. And we've all experienced a certain degree of them accordingly. Have you ever had this feeling that when you're in a movie theater or in a film and you're so immersed within it, and then when it ends, you feel this kind of emptiness or kind of awkward sense of belonging? I think that's the beauty of it. How much more emotions we still have inside of us that we didn't yet experience, or we don't yet have words for it to define it.
Brain imaging studies reveal that when we watch someone else's emotions, whether it's pain, disgust, or sadness, the same brain regions that process those emotions in ourselves also become active. This happens due to what neuroscientists call mirror neurons, special brain cells that allow us to mirror the feelings and actions of others. For instance, observing someone in pain lights up areas in our brain that are normally engaged when we experience pain firsthand. That's why we cry while watching a film, why we feel so involved in the plot and feel so close to the characters. Therefore, cinema doesn't just tell us stories, it makes us feel them, fostering empathy. The question is, can it also push us to act differently in real life, changing the way we treat people and interact with them?
I guess it's probably, again, the distance that we get. When you're experiencing something that, biologically it's not happening to you in that sense, but you have this empathy towards them, you feel with them, and somehow you be more understanding towards them. But in life, you have to take responsibility for it. And I guess this is why certain things doesn't happen. But the beauty also of it in cinema, this is what it is. It can at least help you become more understandable, more humble, more empathetic, and somehow more at ease.
I can remember specifically two roles, if we're talking cinema, that left a big print in me and in my soul. I would think first of The Insult with the Ziad Wairi. And I remember being a pregnant woman, and I've never been pregnant before. I felt it was so real that actually right after the film I got pregnant and I felt the needs and I felt the motherhood and I felt that there's a mother in me that right now the nature of being pregnant even artificially is awakening these instincts in me. And I remember specifically the scene of the garage when he was on the floor and I had to help carry him to the hospital and I was pregnant. This was such an intense scene that I was crying for real, and everybody on set was crying as well. And it was so intense that it left a huge mark. I could still remember the details of this moment. This is a moment where I really felt one with the character, one with Shireen. That was the name of the character. And then I remember also Les Barbares by Julie Delpy, this Alma, this character I played, that she had an amputated leg. And I had to walk with an artificial leg all through, filming. And even my walk changed, and the way I look at people changed. Every character leaves a print inside of you, and then you feel in a way that you are living in a parallel universe where this is your story as well.
اوكي رح اقول لك عن اكسبيرينس لكابريوليه. كابريوليه اون بلين اير، الناس قاعده حد بعضها، يعني عم تحكي عن كوميونيتي ما بيعرفوا بعضهم، عم بيعملوا انتراكسيون على ايموشنات قاطعه على السكرين. كتير عالم بيبعتوا لنا او بيحكوا معنا ديريكت انه تغيرت البرسبشن تبع حياتهم من خلال فيلم واحد. مثلا بتذكر انا شغله من سنين صارت، انه واحد عرف ليه سته عم تتصرف معه هيك، وتغيرت طريقة التفكير تبعه وتغيرت طريقة تعامل هو وبين سته، الابروتش كلها من خلال فيلم قطع من سنين هون.
بتصير كتير ملتقى بناس مثلا بيقولوا لي انه مثلا سلمى حسيت حالي انا مثلا انه حسب هن شو عايشين بحياتهم. مش هيك قبل شوي لما سالتينا قلت لك انه حسب كل شخص، اكيد حسب كل شخص، لانه ممكن انت تحضرينا هلا تقولي انه انا صاير معي ذات الشيء فكتير رح تتاثري، بينما خيك يطلع يقول انه لا ليه هالقد مأثره. it is common انه نشوف انه ناس عم بيقولوا لك انه ايه هيدا الدور كتير لمس فيي. فهون برجع بقول فكره انه لما بتشوفي انه انت عم تبكي مع الكاركتر، او انه يمكن اثنين كانوا بيحبوا بعض بالموفي وتركوا، بتحسي انه كتير تاثرت وبلشت تبكي. اوكي، هيدا اللي بنسميها الميرور، هيدا الميرورينج يلي دماغك بحسسك كانه انت عايشه محل هيدا الاكتر. يعني بتحسي انه وات اف انا صار معي هيدا الشيء، وات اف انا تركني الشريك مثلا، فانا كنت رح احس يمكن بهذا الشيء كمان، فبلش ابكي مثل ما هو عم يبكي.
Most people like to watch movies and like to feel that they're inside what's happening, and this in a way, even if you do not feel the empathy, you would have to see the story through the eyes of these people, and this leaves a mark somehow. I mean, it has to affect you in a way, and you carry this in your head, even if maybe you would feel it in the moment as you are watching the movie, but something is there still in your head that you would carry it for a while after you've seen the movie. That's why movies have power. They have power to make a revolution, to awaken people to a certain reality, to show you one side of the story and then not show you the other. It has a lot of power, and I think it's beautiful, and it's also kind of dangerous at the same time. Listen, there was a series that I did. It's not a movie. It was something I filmed about a woman who was beaten so hard that she eventually committed suicide. And it was, we did this for Kafa to awaken people on the fact that there are a lot of women in Lebanon who are being beaten, who face violence, domestic violence every day, and do not have the power or the courage to speak up. I embodied this character, and it affected me a lot. I couldn't sleep at night. I had insomnia during filming, but then that it had actually affected other women and made them or gave them the courage to speak up and to say no and to awaken on their reality. This for me is so, so intense.
A University of Michigan study found that empathy among college students has dropped by 40% since 1979, sparking what many call an empathy crisis. In a world where so many factors are reducing our ability to feel for others, we understand that cinema plays a crucial role in fostering empathy. When we watch a film, we are not just entertained, We are made aware of hidden realities and struggles that might otherwise remain invisible to us. Cinema gives us the opportunity to see the world through someone else's eyes, to live their story. That understanding pushes us to act, to help, and to fight for a change. The darkness of this room represents the coldness of a world without empathy. But the screen, bright and alive, wakes something in us: compassion, understanding, care, and in that we remember what it truly means to be human.